We are going to tackle the most in-demand suburbs in Brisbane in today's podcast. We're going to be breaking down 3-bedroom houses and 4-bedroom houses, suburb by suburb. We're going to reveal all, so you don't want to miss this episode.
Welcome to the Brisbane Property Podcast with your hosts Melinda and Scott Jennison.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Brisbane Property Podcast with Scott and Melinda Jennison.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. I thought you were going to continue with your intro there, Scott, but I think I jumped in a little early. Today, we have a data-packed day once again, and big shout out to Pauline, who works with us in the Philippines. She has been instrumental in gathering this information for us, and I've done some data tweaking, and we're going to be sharing with you the top 10 most in-demand suburbs in Brisbane for both 3-bedroom houses and 4-bedroom houses right now. This is all of the latest information at your fingertips, and we've got some really interesting trends in terms of what is the premium that you're going to be paying between a 3 and a 4-bedroom house in these highest demand suburbs as well. So brace yourselves. I think there's going to be some really valuable information in this episode.
I'll be able to talk to the data, but yes, I didn't put the data together. So yeah, shout out to Pauline and Melinda for putting all this information together. And there's some really interesting numbers when we go through it, and we'll talk through this as we go, but just to help people understand as a bit of an idea what we're going to do, we'll break it down into 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom properties. We've got things like views per listings. We've got listings per month, sold in the last 12 months, days on market, median prices, and also there's a little bit of an interesting twist at the end there. We've sort of broken down between median prices for 3-bedroom and a 4-bedroom to give you an idea what the price difference is on that as well.
Yeah, the price differential is always interesting. How much more is it going to cost you to buy a 4-bedroom house in a particular suburb? We've got that information for you right now today for the most in-demand suburbs here in Brisbane. And of course, for our clients, we have this information for every suburb across all of Greater Brisbane, and this is how we get to make our recommendations for individuals who are looking for property investment strategy. But also, if you are a home buyer, we help you understand what is actually happening on the ground, what that competition is like, how many properties are actually available. Are we in a really tight supply market or not? Because we talk a lot on the podcast about what's happening in the data at a Greater Brisbane level. But of course, we understand that not every suburb is doing exactly the same thing. And so that's what we are going to share a little bit of with you today.
So if we jump into it straight away, and we'll go from 10 to 1. Which is probably the better way to go. And for a 3-bedroom house, number 10, we've got Capera. Views per listing, 1,465. Capera just to the northwest of the city, and it's a growing area, Capera as well.
It is, and it's serviced by a couple of train stations, of course, Capera train station and also the Grovely train station, and that's on the Ferny Grove line. Very tightly held. So the number of listings in Capera as a suburb in the last month, just 14 in total. So that's actually a pretty tightly held location. Not many people actually selling. So no wonder the views per listing are pretty high there. And in the last 12 months, there's been 92 properties that have sold in Capera. So again, if you average that out over a 12-month period, it's pretty low supply coming to the market. And of course, we talk so much on this podcast about areas where there's low supply and high demand are typically going to attract some escalated values because it increases competition and buyers will stretch to buy when they can afford to do so. So there's a few ingredients that all must go into the mix to determine all of that.
Now, I do apologise. I should have, before I jumped into number 10 being Capera, we're going through 3-bedroom houses here, okay? So we'll get to the 4-bedrooms in a second, but a 3-bedroom house, as we said, Capera, listings, 14, sold in the last 12 months, 92, and days on market, you've got to be fairly quick, 24 days on market. Median price for a 3-bedroom house in Capera, $861,498.
I'm just going to loop back to that days on market number. It's so important for viewers to and listeners to understand that this is an indication of when the information has been shared with the research platforms in terms of from when it was first listed online to when it became a sale. Now, we don't have transparency over whether that also includes a conditional period, which based on these numbers, I can pretty much guarantee that it does, because we are seeing at a local level days on market much faster than 24. You definitely don't have 3 weeks to between when a property is listed and when you put in an offer. In Capera, most properties are under offer within a week. So I assume that this days on market number of 24 will include a conditional period, which could be up to about 14 days on average. So please keep that in mind as we are talking about days on market. Remember, we talk about it a lot on this podcast. The data is only as good as how it is collected, and the reliability of some of these indicators is questionable because it does rely on agents reporting certain information or agents updating some of the real estate portals such as realestate.com and Domain. So keep that in mind. It doesn't mean that every property in Capera will take 24 days to get a contract offer accepted. That's just an indication in general based on how long it takes, which is often including that conditional period under a contract.
And that could also be skewed a bit as well if there's an auction campaign, because that auction campaign will generally run for that 3 sort of 4 week period. Having said that, as we've said a few times on the podcast as well, it's not unusual for a property to sell prior to the auction in Brisbane at the moment either. They do. If they get a good offer and it's good conditions and it's an attractive offer, quite often they will sell. Just very quickly on that, so I threw the median price in there for Capera, and we've got a lot of properties to go through, so we will be
or suburbs
to go through. So I hope everyone can write nice and fast and keep up with everything. Median price there for a 3-bedroom, 861, 498. If you wanted a 4-bedroom, you're looking the median price there of 1,015,000. That's a difference of 153,502, 17.8%
difference. Yeah, so this is a really interesting indicator when we're looking at the median price differentiation between a 3-bedroom home and a 4-bedroom home. This gives us an indication of, how much of a price premium are you paying for that 4th bedroom? And of course, it is at a median value level. So a lot of 4-bedroom homes, we understand, will come with extra living space potentially, and potentially they're on larger blocks. However, this is just, looking at median values only. So a 17.8% price differential in Capera between a 3-bedroom home and a 4-bedroom home. But Capera does come in number 10 place in terms of the most in-demand suburbs for 3-bedroom homes. So it is definitely high up there compared to all other suburbs in Brisbane.
So number 9, Bracken Ridge, towards the north of the city, 1,479 views per listing.
Yep.
Last month, we had 30. And sold in the last 12 months, 177 properties.
Yeah, so a lot more properties selling in Bracken Ridge, turnover a little bit higher. Listings in the last month sitting at 30, that's double the listings in Capera. Geographically, it is a larger suburb, so that also needs to be considered. But very strong demand despite higher listings and a higher volume of sales. So still 1,479 people looking at every property that is listed that is a 3-bedroom home. Days on market here recorded at being 15. Now, out of the top 10 for 3-bedroom homes in terms of demand, this is the lowest days on market. We are seeing this on the ground as well. Very, very quick transactions happening in Bracken Ridge. Remember, this days on market could potentially include that conditional period as well. So if you're looking to buy a 3-bedroom home in Bracken Ridge, you need to be quick because days on market is the lowest value, and you're going to be competing with a lot of other buyers because it's 9th in terms of the most in-demand suburbs for 3-bedroom homes.
Median value, and it's actually the lowest through all of the properties that we'll be looking at. Median value in Bracken Ridge, 788,000 for a 3-bedroom house. If you want a 4-bedroom, you're looking at 875,000 for a median. That's a difference of $87,000, which is 11% difference between a 3-bedroom and a 4-bedroom in the median value.
Yeah, so for our 3-bedroom suburbs, and Scott, you said properties again instead of suburbs.
Suburbs.
We'll pick up on that just so that there's no confusion. For our most in-demand suburbs, Bracken Ridge is the most affordable out of all of the most in-demand suburbs, which is interesting. So as Scott said, $788,000 is the median for a 3-bedroom house, and an 11% premium will be paid for a 4-bedroom house because the median there is $875,000. I find breaking down those median values into property sizes helps buyers to understand the suburb a little bit more. When you group all of that information together, there's a lot more compositional bias because you don't know whether there's more 4-bedroom homes or 3-bedroom homes or indeed 5 or 2-bedroom homes selling within that compositional mix. And that's just a little bit of, data analytics talk coming out. But yeah, Bracken Ridge coming in 9th place in terms of the most in-demand 3-bedroom suburbs in Brisbane.
So number 8, Suburb. I got that one.
You did.
Camp Hill, which is to the southeast of the city. So Camp Hill, views per listing, 1,486. Last month, listings last month, we've got 51. Sold in the last 12 months, 179. And days on market, 51.
What's interesting here with Camp Hill is that over the last 12 months, there's a similar volume or a similar number of transactions as there were in the likes of Bracken Ridge. However, in the last month, we've got a slight uptick in the number of listings. So we've seen a release of stock, more sellers coming to the market just in the last 4 weeks. However, the demand is still strong because there's still 1,486 views per listing for those 3-bedroom properties. So still strong demand in Camp Hill despite a more recent increase in the number of listings that are available. The median value for a 3-bedroom home in Camp Hill is well above the median for Brisbane. It's sitting at $1.3 million. And for a 4-bedroom home in Camp Hill right now, the median value is $1,612,500. So that price differential is $312,500 or 24% premium to buy that 4-bedroom home over the 3-bedroom home. So some interesting numbers there for Camp Hill.
Number 7, to the south of the city, we've got Tarragindi coming in at number 7, 1,502 views per listing. And we've got then listings for last month, 32, sold in the last 12 months, 144, and days on market, 28.
That's right. So listings representative of sales over the last 12 months and days on market. Yeah, you have to be a little bit quicker in Tarragindi, although not as quick as you need to be in the likes of Bracken Ridge and also Capera. So in Tarragindi, if you are looking at 3-bedroom homes, the median value there is $1,227,500. Only a 12.5% premium is to be paid to upgrade to a 4-bedroom home in Tarragindi, where the median is $1,381,000. So the difference there between the 3 and 4 bedders is $153,500. And that's actually the lowest differential outside of Bracken Ridge. So that's interesting because it's certainly not the cheapest of suburbs or at the low end of the top 10 suburbs that are in the most demand. So the price premium for a 4-bedroom house in Tarragindi is lower.
Yeah, it's interesting. I thought that might have been a little bit higher on those numbers. Number 6, when we're looking at suburbs, Wynnum. So we're heading out towards the Bay Area to the east of the city. Wynnum has 1,507 views per listing. We've got last month 43 listings. Property sold in the last 12 months, 173.
And 31 days on market. So Wynnum, you can still purchase a 3-bedroom home around the median value for all of Greater Brisbane for houses. And right now in Wynnum, for 3-bedroom houses, the median is $934,000. You will be paying a premium to upgrade to a 4-bedroom house in this suburb. That's going to cost you around $1.3 million. That is the median value. That's a 39.2% premium. So this is the largest differential in our most in-demand suburbs that you will find. So this is a huge, price differential. So it is the largest, just let me rephrase that. It's the largest price differential for our top 10 3-bedroom suburbs for demand. So it is a really strong price differential to upgrade to that 4th bedroom in Wynnum.
Yeah. And then number 5. So if we jump back not far from Tarragindi, just jump across the motorway and you can get into Holland Park. So Holland Park, we've got views per listing, 1,531. Last month, 28 properties were listed. And then in the last 12 months, 97 properties sold. Days on market, 20.
It's a faster moving market in Holland Park, and it's quite, a reasonably sized suburb. So, listings are very tight for the number of properties that are available in this particular location. A 3-bedroom home is going to cost you at a median value $1,280,000, or a 4-bedroom home $1,490,000. So that's a difference of $210,000 or an uplift in value of 16.4% between the two sized properties. So let's move on to number 4.
Number 4, back to the north side, and we've got to Wavell Heights. Wavell Heights, views per listing is 1,607. Listings last month, 57. Property sold in the last 12 months, 185. So big numbers there. That's the highest number in all the 3 bedrooms. And then days on market, 42.
A couple of things I'm going to mention in relation to Wavell Heights is we have seen a few more properties come to market in the last month. Days on market is trending out a little bit more. So it's taking a little bit longer for properties to sell, but the demand is still there. So, 1,607 views per listing is still very high demand for this property type. And of course, we're still seeing those prices escalate in these suburbs. Median values for 3-bedroom homes in Wavell Heights right now are sitting at $1,155,000, and for a 4-bedroom home, $1,350,000. So the price differential there is 16.9%.
So number 3, and we've jumped back over on the south side. So not too far away. I know we mentioned Camp Hill earlier. So not too far away from Camp Hill, you've got Carina. Carina's just out to the east a little bit further. 1,689 views per listing. Last month, 40 properties listed. And then last 12 months, 114 properties sold. Days on market, 30.
Now, when we're talking about the listings in the last month and the number sold, this is houses. It's not including units and townhouses. I want to make that clear because a suburb like Carina, as well as a couple of others that we have already been through, they will include some additional sales which will be in the unit or the townhouse section of the market. We are simply quoting house information in this podcast. So in Carina, the median value for a 3-bedroom house is currently sitting at $975,000. And for a 4-bedroom house, that jumps to $1,285,000. So a difference of $310,000 there, or 31.8% price differential.
Number 2, Wynnum West, 1,704 views per listing. Last month, 44 properties listed. Sold in the last 12 months, 157 properties. Days on market, 22.
What's interesting about Wynnum West, and of course we know Wynnum is in this top 10 list for 3-bedroom houses as well. In relation to Wynnum West, it is very affordable once again. So we've got an $850,000 median value for 3-bedroom houses in Wynnum West. And for 4-bedroom houses, $978,000 is the median value there. So a 15.1% difference between the two in Wynnum West. So yes, definitely a high demand location, and again, potentially driven by a more affordable market.
And rounding it out, number 1, Maruka. So Maruka is actually just a little bit further southwest, I guess, a bit further south and a bit west.
Directly south, I'd say.
Of Tarragindi, but south of the city. So
perfect.
So Maruka views per listing, 1,871. Listings last month, 39. Properties sold in the last 12 months, 88. Days on market, 48.
Remember, this is the data for houses, and Maruka is a suburb that is split. There's a low to medium density residential area between Bow Desert Road and Ipswich Road, and then to the east of Bow Desert Road, that's where you're going to have the majority of your low density or character housing. Yes, still an affordable location for 3-bedroom homes. $985,000 is the median value there. For 4-bedroom homes, it does jump up to a median of $1,206,000. So that's a price differential of 22.4%. So Moorooka is the number one most in-demand suburb for 3-bedroom houses right now in Brisbane, according to the views per listing on realestate.com.
So if I just run through them again, I'll go from 10 to 1. Capera, Bracken Ridge, Camp Hill, Tarragindi, Wynnum, Holland Park, Wavell Heights, Carina, Wynnum West, and Moorooka.
So I think that if you're a property buyer in these areas, it's important to understand that you will have a high level of competition, and therefore you're going to have to ensure that you are competitive outside of price. We've talked so much in other podcasts about how you can ensure you're positioning offers outside of price alone, but it is going to be a factor that the sellers are considering. Price is always a driver, of course, but conditions will also matter. But these are the areas where you also may have to stretch a little more because of the level of competition. So keep that in mind if you are looking in these locations.
So we'll keep running through the numbers for everyone, and we'll go to the 4-bedrooms. Now, just keep in mind here, when we touched on if you're comparing a 3 to 4 bed, Capera had 1,465. Moorooka, which was number one, was 1,871. Okay, we'll jump onto the 4-bedrooms, and you go number 10, Holland Park. It was in the top section as well. 1,432. This is for 4-bedroom. Okay, 1,432 sold listings in the last month. 28 sold in the last 12 months. 97 days on market. 20.
Yeah, so Holland Park makes the most in-demand list for both 3 and 4-bedroom houses. It's going to, we've already talked about the median values, going to be setting you back $1,280,000 for the 3-bedder or $1,490,000 for the 4-bedroom. So both of these property types, both property sizes are in high demand in Holland Park. And just to recap, it's a 16.4% price differential between the two property types in Holland Park.
Number 9, Mitchelton. I know we mentioned Capera in the top section. So Mitchelton's just a little bit further in, the next suburb in from Capera. So Mitchelton, 1,442 views per listing, 33 properties in the last month. In the last 12 months, sold 110, days on market, 39.
Yeah, so this suggests that it's not a market that moves as fast as others simply because of those days on market trending a little bit higher, a little bit more choice with 33 properties over the last month being available for sale. But when you've got 1,442 people viewing every 4-bedroom home that comes to the market, you know, that's an indication of strong demand. So you do need to let the agent know if you are interested in a property because you're going to be competing with a lot of other buyers, even though there may be less urgency to act within the first few days of listing. Mitchelton has a median for 3-bedroom houses at a low $950,000. For 4-bedroom houses, it does jump to $1,150,000. That is a price differential of 21.1%.
Number 8, we're back down towards the Bayside, Cleveland. So Cleveland has 1,510 views per listing, 85 properties listed last month, sold in the last 12 months, 211 properties. So quite a big number there. And then days on market, 32.
And what's interesting here is that I think that there's been an error in my spreadsheet, which I'm very happy to admit. No, the error is that Cleveland's not a location within the Brisbane City Council region, but it's somehow made it to our top 10 list. And we are talking about those locations in the Brisbane City Council region. So apologies, but let's talk about it anyway. $860,000 is the median value for a 3-bedroom home in Cleveland. $1,050,000 is the median value for a 4-bedroom home, and that's a price differential of 22.1%.
Those people that don't know, Cleveland's actually in the Redlands Shire area, not Brisbane City Council.
That's right.
Number 7, Everton Park. So Everton Park, I'll call it northwest of the city.
Nestled next to Mitchelton.
Not far from Mitchelton, in that sort of area, Mitchelton, Capera, Everton Park, in those areas. Everton Park, 1,663 views per listing, 22 properties listed last month, 120 sold in the last 12 months, days on market, 31.
And look, Everton Park is a location that's very family friendly. It's quite a large suburb. So the fact that there was only 22 properties listed last month indicates that it's tightly held as well. $950,000 is the median value right now for 3-bedroom homes in Everton Park, and $1,115,000 is the median for a 4-bedroom house. And that's a price differential of 17.4%.
Wavell Heights comes in at number 6. Wavell was in the other top section, sitting at number 4. So in a 4-bedroom house, Wavell's at number 6 for views for 4-bedroom houses. 1,690 listed last month. 57 properties, 185 sold in the last 12 months, and 42 days on market.
So let's just have a look between those 3-bedders and 4-bedders in Wavell Heights. There's 1,690 views per 4-bedroom properties, whereas for 3-bedders, it's 1,607. So Wavell Heights is more popular for 4-bedroom homes than 3-bedroom homes. The days on market, the listings last month is the same because it's capturing all property types. And obviously the median values for the 4-bedroom home will attract that 16.9% premium in Wavell Heights. So that's quite interesting that there's going to be more views per property for the 4-bedders compared to the 3-bedders.
Number 5 is Castledine, to the north of the city, a little bit further out. 1,754 views per listing, 35 listed last month, 72 properties sold in the last 12 months, and 35 days on market.
And you can still buy a 3-bedroom home in Castledine at a median value of $831,000. And the premium that you'll pay for a 4-bedder is 21%, because the median value for a 4-bedroom home in Castledine is $1,005,500.
Number 4. We've moved in a little bit closer. Those that know Brisbane, not far from Suncorp Stadium, really. Paddington. So the suburb of Paddington, 1,838 views per listing, 37 properties listed last month, 87 sold in the last 12 months, 62 days on market.
Yeah, what's interesting there is that whilst we've seen a lower number of properties sell over the last 12 months, there's a lot more properties just in the last month that are on the market. Days on market, though, trending at 62. So this indicates that a lot of those homes may be sitting on the market for longer. Perhaps vendor expectations are ahead of what buyers are prepared to pay. So this is where data can be very interesting. You can interpret what that might mean, but really being out on the ground and seeing what's happening in real time tells the true story. But a 3-bedroom home in Paddington has a median value of $1,388,000. A 4-bedroom, huge price differential of 41.2%. 4-bedroom homes, median value tracking at $1,960,000. So the scarcity of land this close to the CBD, the scarcity of large homes this close to the CBD, driving up that value of those larger floor plans.
Yeah, that's 41.2%, $572,000 difference in there.
Yep.
Number 3, so we're northwest of the city, Barden.
Can I just say, before you go through the top 3, these locations all have some similarities, as you will discover as we run through these locations. And all of these locations for the views per listing are significantly higher than any location in Brisbane where 3-bedroom homes are being searched. So with that, let's lead with the number 3.
Sure. So Barden, 2,113. So quite a big jump. Keep in mind, Paddington was 1,838. Maruka back in the top section was 1,871. So we've gone into Barden. We've got 2,113
views per listing.
48 properties listed in the last month, 129 sold in the last 12 months, 59 days on market.
Yeah, so Barden is a very leafy and green suburb in the inner west or inner northwest of located from the CBD. A 3-bedroom home in Barden, median value sitting at $1,415,000, and 4-bedroom homes, median value sitting at $1,842,500. So the price differential there is 30.2%. Now, it's not surprising to me that the top 2 most in-demand suburbs in Brisbane for 4-bedroom homes I would say share a lot of similarities with Barden, Scott.
Yeah. They're all, well, the top three are almost, you might as well call them neighbours, I would have thought.
Yep.
So, for Barden, a little bit further out, and we're going to jump a suburb. From Barden, we'll jump out to the Gap. The Gap, 2,190 views per listing, 55 properties listed last month, 196 sold in the last 12 months, 32 days on market.
So a faster moving market in the Gap compared to Barden. Properties are selling quicker, but it's competitive out there with 4-bedroom homes because 2,190 people are looking at every listing that becomes available. Now, for those 4-bedroom homes in the Gap, the median sale price is $1,241,000. 3-bedroom homes are a little lower at $1,005,000, and the price differential between the two is 23.5%.
And number one,
for 4-bedroom homes,
most in demand, 4-bedroom homes. In the middle between Barden and the Gap is Ashgrove. Ashgrove, 2,267 views per listing. And keep in mind here, when you've got 2,267 views per listing, 40 listed in the last month, 152 sold in the last 12 months, 34 days on market.
Yeah, they're big numbers. I mean, when you consider the number of people looking for 4-bedroom homes in Ashgrove, that is a very competitive market. The median sale price for 4-bedroom homes in Ashgrove is $1,779,059. So we are talking a high price point here as well, compared to 3-bedroom homes. $1,211,500 is the median value, and that's a price differential of a massive 46.8% between the 3 and 4-bedders. So that is very significant, a difference of $567,559. So Ashgrove, the most in-demand suburb here in Brisbane right now for 4-bedroom homes. Maruka, the most in-demand suburb here in Brisbane for 3-bedroom homes. And hopefully some of this information that we've shared with you about these top 10 most in-demand suburbs for each property type will help you understand what is driving some of this demand towards these properties. We talk a lot about, the fundamentals of buying property. When we understand the views per listing, this is an indication of demand. When we understand the listings in the last month or the sales in the last 12 months, this is an indication of supply. So for those that track our podcast and really take in a lot of the information that we share, you should be able to do some maths yourselves to determine where the supply and demand metrics are most out of balance. These are the areas that are likely to see more price pressure. And of course, if that's all just too hard, reach out to our team because we have all of this data on hand, and we obviously share this data with our clients so that they get the best competitive advantage when they're buying a home, or especially when buying an investment, just to know what's happening in local markets.
And thanks again, as we mentioned, to Pauline for putting all that information together. And you've just got to make sure you don't throw Redlands into the next spreadsheet. But
that is my mistake, not
okay.
anyone else's.
We all make mistakes occasionally. So hopefully I know that's been a massive amount of information, numbers, data thrown at everyone. So hopefully everyone had their pen and paper, didn't run out of ink, got all that written down. If you're not sure and you need help, reach out to the team at Streamline, and we're always happy to chat and help. As usual, I will let Melinda wrap it up. It's been great talking again, and thanks very much for listening from, as I normally say, from beautiful sunny Brisbane. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.
Yes, we are in our short sleeves in the middle of winter, and don't we love it when we have those warm, sunny winter days. Look, we hope you have enjoyed this episode. Our most in-demand suburb episodes, which we do slot in from time to time, are very popular. People want to know who's looking where. I hope this information has been valuable. As always, if you have enjoyed this content, if you know someone that's looking to buy in Brisbane, please share this information. It's going to be relevant, especially if they're looking in some of these locations. We would love for you to leave us a review. If you get a chance, share this podcast with friends and family. And until next week, we hope you have a good one, and bye for now.